The first thing anyone would notice is the silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the kind that presses down on your chest and makes every breath feel too loud. A young woman is tied to a tree in the middle of the Kansas prairie. Her wrists are stretched high above her head, bound so tightly the rope has burned red marks into her skin. Her ankles are pulled wide apart, secured to iron stakes driven deep into the dry earth. The ground beneath her is cracked and lifeless, baked hard by weeks without rain. The sun hangs overhead like a hammer, striking her again and again with unbearable heat. Her name is Lily Monroe. She is 21 years old. Dust coats her hair and clings to her face. Her lips are split and dry. One shoulder of her shirt is torn open, and the fabric hangs loose where it was ripped away. She is exhausted, frightened, and in pain, but she is still standing. Still breathing. And still refusing to bow her head. Standing in front of her is a man who looks old enough to know better. His name is Jack Callahan. He is almost 50, tall and broad-shouldered, with a face carved by sun, wind, and regret. His skin is burned dark from years working cattle under open skies. He is a rancher by trade, a survivor by necessity. He has lived through droughts that killed entire herds, blizzards that froze men in their tracks, and shootouts that left blood soaking into prairie dust. But nothing in his hard life prepared him for this moment. Because a few yards behind Lily, leaning lazily against a saddle, is a bandit named Mac. Mac is smiling. He watches Jack with cold amusement, like a man enjoying a slow-burning fire. He wants proof. Proof that Jack Callahan is still loyal. Proof that he will do whatever is ordered. The order is simple. Finish her. Jack takes a step closer. His boots crunch against brittle ground. The sound echoes louder than it should. Lily's breath quickens. She pulls against the ropes, but the knots only bite deeper into her skin. Pain flashes through her arms and legs, sharp and unrelenting. She swallows, steadying herself, then lifts her chin. If you're going to do it, she says, her voice trembling but clear, then just do it. The words land heavy in the heat. For a moment, everything goes still. Even the wind seems to stop. Jack's jaw tightens. His eyes darken. Something old and buried stirs inside his chest, something he has spent years trying to forget. A memory. A memory of his wife and son. A memory of men like Mac, laughing while innocent people begged. Of bodies left behind in the dirt. Of a life that ended in fire and screams. Lily does not know what she has awakened in him. She only knows she refuses to cry. Refuses to give them the satisfaction of watching her break. Jack lifts his hand slowly. From where Mac stands, it looks like the beginning of something brutal. But Lily sees something else. Hesitation. A question. A spark of mercy in a man who should have none left. And right there, beneath the merciless Kansas sun, Jack Callahan makes a decision. Not today. Not with this girl. Jack lowers his hand. Fear flickers across his face. Not fear of Mac, but fear of who he would become if he obeyed. Mac spits into the dirt and turns away to check his horse. Jack bends down, pretending to tighten the rope around Lily's legs. Up close, she can hear his breathing, uneven, strained. His voice drops to a whisper so soft she almost misses it. Trust me. The words shock her more than the heat. Why should she trust him? He rode in with the men who tied her up. He watched while she begged for water. He did nothing, until now. But there is something in his voice. Not kindness. Not softness. Honesty. With Mac distracted, Jack works quickly. His knife slips into the knot with practiced ease. The rope around her wrists loosens just enough to give her hope. Before she can respond, her mind drifts back to how she ended up here. Only hours earlier, Lily had been riding alone toward Dodge City. The trail was quiet. The sky wide and blue. Then Mac and his younger brother, Eli, stepped out from behind a fallen tree. Mac raised a revolver. Eli yanked her from the wagon. They took her money, laughed like it was nothing, and tied her up without mercy. A hostage, they said. Insurance until they cleared the county. Then Jack appeared. Quiet. Tired. Watching everything with heavy eyes. Mac bragged that Jack owed him. That today was the day he'd prove it. Lily remembered the way Jack looked at her. Not hungry like Mac. Not cruel like Eli. Just tired. Now, back in the present, Lily feels the rope shift again. Jack is still working. Her heart slams against her ribs. If Mac turns around, they are both dead. When I cut the last rope, Jack whispers, "You'll fall. Don't make a sound." Footsteps crunch behind them. Mac is walking back. The sun burns overhead. Lily keeps perfectly still. Her breathing slows to almost nothing. Jack straightens, wiping his hands like nothing has changed. Then Eli approaches from the horses. He is younger, jittery, eager for violence. His gun hangs loose in his grip. Still alive? Eli laughs. Good. Might get a reward for her. Jack's hand tightens. Eli steps closer to Lily and reaches out toward her face. Jack fires. The shot tears through Eli's shoulder. He screams and drops, his gun clattering into the dirt. Chaos explodes. Jack swings toward Mac and fires again, but the bullet tears up dirt near his boots. Mac dives behind brush, cursing as he returns fire. Jack steps forward, out of cover, out into open ground. He keeps shooting. Not to kill. To distract. Each step draws Mac's aim away from Lily. Dust erupts around Jack's boots. Bullets snap past his ears. Eli screams on the ground, bleeding and broken. Mac hesitates. Then he runs. He leaps onto his horse and kicks hard. Jack fires one last desperate shot. It misses, striking dirt beneath the hooves. Mac disappears into the heat shimmer. Silence returns. Jack rushes to Lily, cutting the final ropes. She collapses, and he catches her before she hits the ground. "We have to go," he whispers. "He'll come back." They ride hard to the river, hide beneath cottonwoods, and take shelter in an abandoned shed. Lily gives Jack water. He winces from bruised ribs but smiles anyway. "Why help me?" she asks. Jack stares at the river. "Because I couldn't let it happen again." Hooves thunder in the distance. Mac is back. And this time, he's not alone. The fight that follows is fast and brutal. Gunfire tears through the valley. Lily grabs a fallen pistol and fires, missing everything, but changing everything. Jack uses the moment. When it's over, Mac lies still in the dirt. Silence settles again. Real silence. Weeks pass. Lily heals. Jack watches over her. No pressure. No demands. And one evening, under a setting sun, Lily looks at him and repeats the words that once meant fear, now filled with hope. "If you want to, just do it." This time, Jack smiles. Because he already has.